Greetings, everyone out there in the world. This is a major update in our non-SEC case. Just give me a few minutes to finish setting up. I'm giving a quick countdown, and I am good. Turn this on, and boom, we are good. You guys should be able to hear me. Everything should be good. How is everybody doing out there in the world? My name is Nate, lawyer, YouTuber, and we have a hell of a story I have a hell of a story to tell you today. Okay. Now, most of you who are probably going to be watching this probably know nothing about the non-SEC show, right? It's something that I was covering for the past year. It's been about the past year. So let me explain to you guys what non-sequitur means. So there was a show on YouTube. Let me see if I can pull up a graphic so you can see. I think the channel's still up. Called the Non-Sequitur Show channel. And it was a show, it was more or less like a debate show. Non-Sequitur show. And the show was actually a pretty good show. I enjoyed the show, just to be honest with you. It was interesting. They used to tackle topics like flat Earth and all this stuff. It was pretty decent. Let me share this so you guys can see the show. Here we go, non-sex show. There it is. So here's the non-sex show channel, and then they used to do great stuff. They actually had Jesse Lee Peterson on, there's Lawrence Krauss, Amazing Atheists. So the show, I think they went up to almost 30,000 subscribers. They got 27,000 here. So it was rocking. The show was rocking. It was doing pretty good. But things were not happy within Paradise, just like all great things, like all great bands, for instance. People break up, right? So in one of the craziest things that happened on YouTube, what's his name? Kyle kicked Steve off the show, right? And literally kicked Steve off and took all the money. Most of the people who are watching this probably already know the story, but Kyle, who was one of the co-hosts, kicked Steve off the show and took all the money. So Steve, who was the co-host, was like, yo, you took all the money and you took the show, at least pay me what I was, what we earned. Kyle took off and, wasn't heard from again for a while. So Steve, with the help of Ruhef, sued Kyle in North Carolina. They went through the lawsuit. Kyle didn't respond to it, and a default judgment was entered on behalf of Steve. So then Kyle came back and he said, well, hey, hold on. I wasn't served properly, right? He said, I wasn't served properly because I was living with my boyfriend at the time, and you sent the papers to the wrong address. So, and that was a year ago that we told him about this thing kind of started happening, right? So we've been dealing with this for a year. This is not Kyle Rittenhouse, this is Kyle Curtis. So with Kyle Curtis, he came and he said, well, hey, this is not proper. I wasn't served properly. So he told the court that since he was not served properly, the court didn't have jurisdiction and he couldn't, the default judgment should be thrown out. So we went through that whole process. And in that process, he submitted some documents. He submitted a bank statement. He submitted a tax form. He submitted affidavits from his mom, an affidavit from Ben Ponce, a whole bunch of stuff that he submitted to the court to show that, hey, I wasn't living with my mom when I was served. I was living at this other place. So we all believed that, this was legitimate. But to their credit, I have no love for the plaintiff, but to their credit, they looked at the documents. They said, well, hold on. We got to look at these documents. And they started pulling things apart and started seeing, we have a lot of things wrong here. So like, if, for instance, even up to last night, I was on Twitter and I was arguing with Ruhef about, you guys keep saying that this guy's forged documents. What proof do you have that there's any forgeries? You guys just keep saying it. I don't trust you guys. You said. So this morning, Ruhef actually sent sent me the video he did, which I didn't watch. So I watched the video because I had stopped following the case for a while because obviously I was like, this case is never going to end. And when I watched the video Ruhef said, I said, wow, this is actually this is not no joke, this is. And then I had to do something for myself. I had to kind of take my emotions out of it and just look at the documents, right? I just had to look at what Ruhef was presenting. And I said, well, if this is what they found, right? The documents, the alleged forgeries on the documents. And the second thing was the bank subpoena came back and supposedly the account wasn't even open in August. So if the account wasn't open in August, then the August statement that was provided to the court to show that he lived there couldn't have been correct. So those two things this morning led me to put a tweet out saying that, hey, I got to agree with Ruhef. These things are highly, highly suspect. And if true, Kyle's in trouble. Now, I said that earlier this morning. I even sent Ruhef some DMs saying, hey, man, I believe you. I've looked at it and it looks suspect to me. It does look suspect to me, and it just is what it is. And I follow the evidence. If the evidence says it's suspect, I'm going to tell you it's suspect. So that's where we're at. Then lo and behold, I get back to my computer and Kyle's attorney has withdrawn from the case. And she's given the reasons why she's withdrawn from the case. And I think it's going to shock you why his attorney has withdrawn or asked to be withdrawn. So let me share with you her reasons why she is asking the court not to be a part of this case anymore. So this is not about him paying. This is about what you're about to see right now. So let me screen share this with you. And again, this is not about Kyle Rittenhouse. This is about the non-sex showcase. Because I know there's a whole bunch of people like, we don't know what the non-sex showcase is. And again, this is probably going to be our last video on this. It just is what it is. So here we go. This is motion for leave to withdraw as counsel. Pursuant to Rule 16, now I'm just going to go read through this, and so we can all see what it says and what Scotty Lee Forbes' reasons for wanting to get out of this monster case was. Let's check it out together. Pursuant to Rule 16 of the General Rules of Practice of the Superior Court and District Courts, Ellis and Winters LLP and its attorney Scotty Lee Forbes respectfully move the court for leave of withdrawal as counsel for defendant Kyle Russell Curtis. In support of this motion, Ellis and Winters states the following. So just to be clear, generally you just can't walk over a case, right? Especially when it's in litigation, you got to ask the court for permission to go. So then you also got to tell the court, like, here's my reasons that I want to get out this case. So you can't just, now sometimes it's a payment issue, right? Hey, the guy hasn't paid me. Then that's a good reason. But there's other reasons that can come up. So this attorney is now going to tell us the reasons why she's asking the court to be removed from the case. Let's go to that. 1 second. Here we go. I hope everybody can see this well too. I think it's big enough. Let me see if I can make it a little bigger. There we go. All right. An attorney, in support of the motion, Ellis and Winters states the following. Now, this is the law from the statement the following. An attorney who has made an appearance in a case may withdraw from representation with justifiable cause, reasonable notice to the client, and permission of the court. Rule 116B of the North Carolina Rules of Professional Conduct. So now she's saying, now this is interesting because now she's saying that there's a ethical issue, right? Rules of professional conduct. She's quoting that. So let's just go into it. She's saying that where did I leave off at? The rules of professional conduct defines when an attorney may withdraw from representing a client. 4 circumstances listed under the rule. So we're going to look at these 4 circumstances. The first one is a lawyer may withdraw from representing a client if withdrawal can be accomplished without material adverse effects on the interests of the client. And that makes sense. If we're withdrawing and it's going to destroy your client's case, then the court's saying, well, you just can't just leave. You know what I'm saying? You're destroying the client's case. So that's one of the things that you got to consider. How bad is it going to be if your lawyer withdraws from this case? So that's the first thing that the rules note. So that's the first thing. Hold on, let me go back. Let's look at the second reason. The second reason that the rules allow an attorney to withdraw is a lawyer may withdraw from representing a client if the client insists on taking action that the lawyer considers repugnant, imprudent, or contrary to the advice and judgment of the lawyer, or which the lawyer has a fundamental disagreement. So now that's the second reason. The third reason, a lawyer may withdraw from representing a client if representation has been rendered unreasonably difficult by the client. Now, this happens all the time too with a client. I've seen a case where a client has gone through something like I think there was a case in New York where the client went through like 10 attorneys, right? Because it was just unreasonable. So every attorney kept dropping out of the case. So, but the client had enough money to keep hiring attorneys. So that's just what happened. So here you have this, one of the reasons is if the client is just being totally unreasonable. And let's see the last reason, the last of the big four. A lawyer may withdraw from representing a client if other good cause for withdrawal exists. Now that's the catch-all. Something other exists that the client may not just want to tell the court. It may be privileged between the client and attorney. So you have that reason. So it says Ellison Winters represents that each of the four grounds for withdrawal listed below apply here. Ellison Winters has conferred with counsel for plaintiff Steve McCray concerning the motion. So they've talked to Steve McCray's motion. Mr. McCray, through counsel, consents to the relief sought in this motion. So they've actually spoken to Steve's attorney and said, hey, we're going to get out of here. And Steve's attorney says, see ya. So they know. Also, Ellison Winters attempted to seek the position of defendant Kyle Curtis concerning the motion, but has not received the response. So they can't contact Kyle. Kyle is on the run. His lawyers can't contact him. They tried to get him to figure out like, yo, what's going on? We're going to withdraw. And they said, we can't contact him either. So for these reasons, Ellison Winters, LLP, and its attorney, Scott Lee Forbes, respectfully request the court to enter an order allowing them to withdraw from representing Mr. Curtis in the case. The proposed order accompanies this motion. The 22nd of October, blah, 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 blah. So, and that's it. She served, and that is where we're at. So, that's all, folks. The case, I think, is over. It's just so interesting how things work out because, again, I got to take blame for my own issues, right? I think everybody, when looking at cases like this, me and I've had issues with the plaintiff. I'm definitely not cool with that guy. But let's just keep it 100. We've all been saying from the beginning, Kyle took the money from Steve, and Steve should be paid. Those were the two things that I think consistently we've all been saying. The second piece of it is, were these documents forged? Now, people just looking at them and saying that they're experts, that doesn't convince me. What does convince me, though, is, subpoenas coming back, and it, if someone does, if things just look bad, like the Leslie Bass email. Remember the email, this plaintiff, Steve, presented a fake email one time, and we all saw the email was fake. It was an obvious forgery. Things like that, you don't need an expert for. It's an obvious forgery. So, so that's it. It's done. It's done. I don't know how you come back from this, and it's sad because it seems like the documents were the kicker. The fact that Discover didn't have, Discover, the August statement didn't exist, and I think, at a point, the lawyer has to look at the client and say, hey, listen, this is not looking good for you. Now, how's this going to do with Kyle going forward? Think about this. Kyle Curtis has now a deposition that's been put forward, right? Where he is now figuring out if he is going to be if he's maybe prosecuted for forgery and for all this stuff. This is a tough place to be in. It's a tough place to be in. But I got to say a couple of things. And everybody out there who dislikes Steve, who loves Steve, at this point, we got to take our emotions out of it. I did that this morning, and I did not know this motion was coming. I didn't know. I was waiting for the judge. But this morning, when Ruhef asked me to look into it critically, I did, and I said it was suspect then. And this just happened to come right after that. And it just is what it is. You know what I'm saying? It just is what it is. So, for those of you who may hate Steve, remember, it's not about Steve. It's about the evidence. If this guy forged documents and submitted it to the court, he should go to jail. Let's take emotion out of it. Let's take feeling out of it. Let's take, we like this guy better than this guy. You got to take all that out of it. You got to call it what it is. Now, about Kyle raising funds, I think at a point too, Steve has to kind of look internally too and say, Kyle raised what, $6,000 for this lawsuit to show you how much they hate Steve. It's insane. But I think at the end of the day, you got to have a heart-to-heart with yourself and say, what happened here, right? What happened here? It's just simple. And it's as simple as it could possibly get. Two partners went into business together. One of those partners stole all the money and screwed their partner and ran off and took all the money. He was sued, and it's over. I got a special guest for you right now. It is Agrippa. Agrippa, what's going on, man?
Hey, brother, how are you?
I am okay. I'm okay. So what do you think?
I'm
These new developments.
I'm a bit behind. All I've seen so far is that Kyle's lawyer's withdrawn for reasons, whatever they are.
Yeah, the four reasons. It seems like they have some ethical issues. They haven't been able to contact Kyle, things of that nature. So she's out. She's out.
So docs are
probably fake. Yeah, docs are probably fake. Again, I'm not getting into it.
Well done, Ruhif, Steve, and the crew for finding all that out.
But hold on, I want to make it sure. I don't know that for a fact, right? I do not know Kyle forged anything because I just want to be very careful. I'm not getting caught up in a defamation suit. But if we're talking about opinions, and this is my opinion, right? Very clear. I believe Kyle forged it. What about you, Agrippa?
Yeah, well, it was funny because, as everybody does know, I was involved with Kyle to put the compliance to the default judgment together.
Yeah.
And at the same time that was putting that strategy in place, which obviously involved putting, his back invoices into the business for his services rendered for all, the artwork and all that sort of stuff, was the time he came up with the, hey, look, I think I've been served incorrectly. This was like a day before this judgment stuff was due. So this wasn't something he's been sitting on for a long time. I went, oh, that's all great, mate, but, we've got to get this stuff in because you've got to comply to this judgment. Otherwise, you're going to be in contempt. I have a feeling he may well have, and look, again, my mantra is it's not over till the fat lady sings. It never is.
But she's warming up right now.
Oh yeah,
she's right here.
She's doing the scales.
You coming on screen? Oh no, she's
doing scales.
Drinking some water right now. She's about to come on screen.
It doesn't look good. The fact that he's not responding seems to be par for the course for him. I'm pleased that justice is done. If we've said from day one, and I've shared your opinion that I think Steve should be paid something for his services to the channel and as a partner. I had no doubt they were partners. I don't think Cole operated as a partnership, but the agreement, whatever the agreement was, it was some form of partnership to share something of revenues, and that needed to happen. What I looked at was how, what Cole also needed to be paid for his services. But this is how the justice system works, isn't it? If the evidence is there, the evidence is there. You can't ignore the evidence. I think my problem with all this last, what was it, 3 weeks, 4 weeks of this stuff, it was just overwhelming amounts of back chatter. We've had barcodes, we've had Zelle, we've had Amazon, we've had, yeah, okay, guys, it just didn't sound to me like somebody had a huge amount of evidence. Muted, mate.
But you know what, though? I do want to say this. I understand now from Steve's side and from Ruhef's side. You're screaming at the top of your lungs. This guy's forged everything. We know it. And people are kind of like, well, we don't know it for sure. And that's because they, Ruhef, I'm not sure. Ruhef, well, let me be clear. Ruhef has never lied to me, so I'm not going to say he lies. But Steve has been caught in many, 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 many lies, right?
Yeah.
So many lies, it's ridiculous, If you want to see, there's video, monster videos, not only from me, but from the whole community about Steve's many, many, many lies. So it's not like you can just trust what he says, right? Well, for God's sake, he was harassing a woman in another state. A judge had to sign a harassment order to stop him from harassing a woman in another state. So, it's not like his credibility is nonsense. But I do understand when you do have the evidence and people don't believe you, then it makes it hard because, again, with the evidence they're presenting, people have to believe them too. And I think at the end of the day, with this case, it shows you two things. Number one, you shouldn't be doing this in the public sphere. And number two, it's all about the evidence. You can't get around the court system is not about your feelings. It's about the evidence. And that's what this was about, the evidence. And the evidence shows that, hey, there's a problem here. There is a problem here. And I understand it. So what do you think Kyle goes from here? He's not talking to his attorneys, the depositions, however that went, it doesn't seem like he actually lived with Ben at all. Do you think he's going to jail? Do you think, because this judge is saying, if we find out if you lied to us, we're sending it to the district attorney's office. Do you think he'll be prosecuted?
Yeah, I think he'll get prosecuted. I think he'll get prosecuted. Because he's wasted a lot of time.
A lot of the court's time.
Will he go to jail? I don't know enough about this level of corporate law, and does corporate law apply? And it's perjury now. Is it perjury? Yes, probably. I think it's sort of up to 41 months. He might get 6 months, might get a year, might just get a good behaviour bond. I don't know.
Don't forget, he's already got a conviction too.
I don't understand the American conviction laws.
If you already have a conviction, it's going to make it even more likely you're getting more time and all that stuff. So I don't know. It's disappointing because I did want to eventually see the legal arguments play out. Yeah, right.
Yeah, I mean, I've obviously, I had some academic investment in this with the little, copyright and the service side of things, which I think if Kyle hadn't played this stupidity out, the objective was to get these guys to the table with the fear of a copyright strike. If he hadn't played this stupid idea of, well, what we now look at as hindsight is a stupid idea. It was a brilliant stroke of genius or luck or whatever when it first happened. I think he may have been able to negotiate a walk away. Take the channel, take everything else. I won't copyright strike you. I'll just walk away.
But I'm going to tell you this, though. I'm just going to be honest with you. This has taught me one huge lesson. One huge lesson is that you don't know who the person is on the other side of the screen. In terms of, if you'd have asked me what I would have ever thought Kyle would have turned in anything fraudulent to the court, I would have bet a paycheck that no, that's not happening. He's too smart for that. Now I don't even know if these things are fraudulent, but I'm under the impression they are. And if you'd have asked me, is it even possible for him to, I'd have said no. And just to be clear, no matter how much I don't like the plaintiff, I would have said the same thing about him too, right? I would have said no. This guy will never turn in anything fraudulent to the court, right? It's just not.
That's just insane.
Yeah. And I would have said the same thing about both of them. But it's, again, you don't know these people. They're on the other side of the screen. Yeah. And this is what happened. And I think, Scotty just was, told him, hey, listen, this whole thing's, this is not looking good. and we just got to, we got to let the court know, this is just what it is. So, I was actually arguing with Ruhef earlier about this, and it's funny because he convinced me earlier that all this stuff was suspect, because he was like, yo, Nate, watch this video. We did get the subpoena back, and we didn't get the August statements because they didn't exist. So I was like, oh man. So when they laid it all out, I was convinced. I was like, well, these are highly, highly suspect, and I think they're forged. But I just don't know, because it's not like they
there are other excuses for why there's no August. I can't remember whether he, because I'm keep track of this. Did he discover August statements as part of his affidavit?
He submitted one August statement.
Oh, well, he's an idiot.
And the problem was with that was, if you move in August 15th, you change your discover statement, like it changes so quickly, and it was like a lot going on there. So I don't know. It was always a little suspect, but it was just enough where at the end of the day, I was just like, well, what idiot would turn in fake documents to the guy?
Yeah, I'm sorry, it's incomprehensible.
Yeah, like what idiot would turn?
It's as stupid as them not having any agreement when they started this thing.
Yeah, so it's kind of like saying, like, all right, at the end of the day, yeah, there's some issues, but at the point, but again, that's why at a point you got to say, well, let me just take all those away and just look at this like I would look at a flat earth something or this something, and just say, what am I looking at? And to Ruhef's credit,
oh yeah,
he this morning we were going back and forth on Twitter. He said, no, this is it. Oh, okay, so this was it. That's what he said. Then he said, this was it. He said, and I said, okay, I agree. I'm not going to deny the evidence. This is highly, highly suspect. And I put a tweet out, and I know I got some backlash of it from people who obviously, are invested in the Kyle side. But I'm just not going to go down a road where it seems to me obvious.
I'll take a little bit more pragmatic approach and not make any call at the moment until I see what the judge has to say. Because when we did the last hearing, I said this was messy with the Ben and Kyle conflicting affidavits. This to me is still messy. This to me is not conclusive. I'm swayed, but I'm not convinced, simply because I don't see any expert forensic stuff that says, yeah, I get this. You see, am I prepared to invest the time to understand it? No, I'm not. But I'd probably get it if I did, but I just couldn't be bothered. So I'll wait to see what the court says.
Agrippa, I agree. That's the best way to be. But I'm at the point now where I think the cake has been baked. The court is just a cherry on top, right? The only thing I can see happening, if this court thing happens, is Kyle still, if the documents, there could be the tiny, and I mean tiny, possibility that the documents are forged, but Kyle actually lived there. Right?
That's a possibility, yeah.
That's the only possibility I can see with Kyle getting out of this. Yeah. Otherwise, he's done. He's done.
He's done for perjury, but that doesn't finish the whole case.
Yeah.
Still damages and all that sort of stuff too.
But what's he going to get? I think this is even worse because. Well, let me read out these super chats real quick. Sorry, I've been missing you guys' super chats. Insidious Vids. What up, Nate? Congrats on the 45,000, bro. Thanks for the awesome unbiased content, punitive damages, jury awards. Steve with Kyle's hair. That's true. I think Kyle has no money to pay Steve. So, this is a great win, but it's a great win for somebody who has no money to pay. It's suing a bum for $1 billion. You're not getting $1 billion. Secret Squirrel, onwards and upwards. Time for new and shinier things. Yeah, this is probably going to be my last non-sec video. We followed this case for a year, and it's
fuck me. No, it won't be. Don't stop bullshit.
No, why? This is it. What more is it to do? The Scully Forbes getting out of here.
You've got the Chase to Guatemala. You've got Dog the Bounty Hunter. It's all sorts of content here for your second channel, mate.
Terry Jones, hello from down under. Love the unbiased presentation. It's facts type video. Thank you so much. And they're going to keep coming. I got another one coming today. I got a cut. And Holy Spackle again. Holy Spackles, Steve McCrae and Reds would want apologies. So, but the only person's gone full Kyle with no reservations was Unirock. Damn, Kyle, why you always lying? Well, to defend Unirock, which I know, I'm defending Unirock. Unirock did sell. I was in a stream with Unirock. Well, not a stream. I was speaking with Unirock a couple of days ago, and Unirock even admitted that Kyle's stuff was suspect, and it could be, possibly forged. He just was looking for more evidence of the contrary. He said that he didn't believe Kyle 100%, and nor did he believe Steve 100%. And he was still looking just for more evidence to tip him over whichever way. So he did. But even though he has this battle with Steve, but he did tell me that personally. But I don't think he's ever come out publicly and said that. But I came out publicly earlier and said, yeah, this is too much. So, so do you think Kyle's ever going to show up again?
No.
No, you think it's over for him?
No, yeah, I do. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Well, listen, guys. So now you guys know Kyle's lawyer is gone. Is more than likely gone, and he's going to get a judgment. Steve is going to have his celebration, Steve, and it's finally going to be the one that actually is right. It's real celebration. So
well,
he's going to have a real celebration.
It's again, I've been around the world a bit longer than you guys have. It's not over yet. Don't forget, the courts. This judges can be weird.
It's over for me, bro. It's over for me. I don't. Scotty was 1,000,000% team.
Yeah.
Team Steve McRae. Well, let me everybody. Steve McRae and Kyle Curtis, because I got to say Kyle Curtis so everybody doesn't think I'm talking about Kyle Rittenhouse. Steve McRae and Kyle Curtis. If you don't know who these people are, again, I know I have a lot of new fans who don't know who these people are. So I'm sorry. This is a case that we've been following for about a year, and this is more or less the end of it. Dana McWhite. When this is over, guess what? Steve has no more content. Yeah. But I'm gonna watch his stream tonight. I'm actually going to send him some money because I had a bet with someone. So I'm gonna send them some money that Scotty Lee would what's it called? Would withdraw. So I'm gonna be sending Steve, I think 25. I think see how much. I think it's $25 on a super chat saying, Rue Hef and Steve were right because we like those stupid little bets, and that's essentially going to be it. But yeah, this is not a good thing for Kyle. Theo Non-Cog, I think we should thank Rue Hef for funding this free entertainment for over a year. That's true. This is $50,000 well spent. $50,000 well spent. And let's
that much in the but he's still got to collect yet. He still hasn't got any money.
But what are you going to collect though?
Well, I don't know.
What are you collecting? What is there to collect?
I don't know. Wardrobe? His wardrobe? I don't know.
This is why y'all should be picky about GoFundMe's. I did not donate to Kyle. That's true. But holy, who would have faked court? Who would have faked submissions to the court? Who does that? Kyle Curtis. Again, allegedly. So I don't know. This is crazy, but again, you don't know who the person on the side of the screen is, and we didn't know who Kyle was, and and Steve was right. Ref seems to be right. Red seems to be right.
Yeah, they did some good work there, and that's a really good save. Well done.
But yeah,
really good save. If it is a save, and I said, wait till the fat lady sings.
All right, she's coming up. I like really. How do you get past this? Now the attorney's not even with. Number one, the attorney's probably gone, and he's not even talking to the attorney. What is there to save?
Yeah, he's not, and he doesn't turn up. He's going to get a warrant, so he's going to be in contempt.
Yeah, but what is there to save? I don't know. Yeah. He's not talking. And the attorney's coming out and saying we're out of here. He's not even not even talking to us. And there's some ethical issues here too. So I think this is over. I think if it's not over, then I don't the court system has failed Steve. And we've always been saying that from the beginning. Steve should be paid. So listen, everybody. I want to thank everybody for the short stream. I know this was, everybody may be expecting more. We read Scotty's thing. We see what happened, and it's more or less done. There's really nothing more to say. So I wish everybody the best, and I wish both sides the best. I wish Kyle the best, and I wish Steve the best. In their future endeavors. But I'm man enough to say, when the evidence leads you to one conclusion, You follow the evidence. That's what my channel's always been about. My channel has always been about following the evidence to where it leads. And this evidence happens to lead this way. It just is what it is. It is what it is. So everyone take care. Thanks again for watching, and we will see you next time. For Agrippa, my name is Nate. Agrippa, you want to say any last words?
No, I'm good. Always a pleasure.
All right. Thanks everybody for watching. Thanks for all the super chats, and I will be seeing you on the next videos coming out today. I have a couple of more police videos coming out today. It's going to be interesting. I'm doing Google's antitrust lawsuit, and I'm going to be looking at the police officer's interview on Good Morning America from the Breonna Taylor case. It's going to be interesting. So, all right, guys, we're out of here. My name is Nate, and we'll see you next time. Peace.